I'm Dante Greco for Bionic Buzz, down here at the Hollywood Museum to celebrate the 101st birthday of Betty White. Got a lot of celebrities to come, a lot of great interviews. Stay tuned. So this is incredible. Betty White would have been her 101st birthday. I mean, you don't get more legendary in Hollywood than Betty White, right?
Well, you know, she's a legend, but she's also an iconic Hollywood star. And you know, you have to recognize she's been in this entertainment business for 7 decades, more than 70 years. She started in radio, and when the invention of television came along, she had one of the first Hollywood television shows. Very successful. Life with Elizabeth, it was called. And you know, every decade she became more and more famous for all the different programs and shows and genres of television shows that she did.
Do you think there's, or what do you think is something that up-and-coming actors and actresses can learn from Betty to try and, you know, reach something of the same type of longevity in this business?
Always be polite and never take yourself seriously.
She was great, and I saw a bit of the exhibit. It looks fantastic.
Thank you very much. We had so much fun compiling all of the artifacts and creating the exhibit that's opening tonight.
Great, so good to interview you. Thank you so much. What was your, what do you think was Betty White's legacy, really?
I keep hearing that she was the first woman of television. I mean, she was America's sweetheart, and everyone loved her from all different roles. I mean, she's been around as long as I can remember.
Did you get to meet her?
Oh, I met her many, many times because her career kind of was around the same time as mine. After Bewitched, she did Mary Tyler Moore, so that's one of my fondest memories of her.
What was it like to hang out with Betty off camera?
She was fun. She was old Hollywood, funny, smart, loved animals. She was a kick.
Is there anything you think that younger actors and actresses can learn from Betty?
I think she was a lady. I think she comes from a time where actors were trained and funny and professional and had great manners. So, I mean, that never goes out of style.
Love it. And where can we find you? What do you have coming out?
I've been doing a ton of voiceover, so if you'll hear me and not even know it's me. So I did the Batman, is probably the biggest one I've done in the last year. So I'm in that a lot.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
This is Dante. He's really
Hi, Dante. Yes, you are.
Isn't he gorgeous? Yes. He's so sweet. But I said I wanted to interview you today. So first I want to know about your joint love of animals with Betty White.
I think if you were to ask her when she was still with us, she's always still with us, but when she were in corporeal form, she would say, as I do, that she loves animals more than people. Because we do. And there's good reason for it. She's the shining star of the Los Angeles Zoo. And now that she is no longer with us, I like to think, I'm hoping that there will be like a constellation of stars. Because no one person can take the place of Betty White. I made tear up. But there are those of us who will take up that torch and just run with it, for the animals.
I love it. And also, so your character, Diane, on General Hospital, got hooked?
I got hooked. Well, then I got hooked near death. And now they saved me at General Hospital. So I have come from being this close. And now we will have discovered who the hook is by the time I go back in to shoot on later in January. So I can't tell you, but yes, I got hooked and I came back from almost being dead.
And I see some sparks between you and Scorpio.
Maybe. Don't tell anyone. Yes. Veteran actor Tristan Rogers, who I love more than almost as much as animals. He is this brilliant, wonderful, funny, heart of gold curmudgeon, and so is his character. So he and Diane are flirting a little bit now that Holly is gone.
Right. She kind of ruined it. But so where can we find you on social media, Carolyn?
Oh my gosh, my name, Carolyn, CarolynHennesy, the short spelling, and that's the Gram, and the Twitter, and the Facebook, and everything else. So.
Well, we're happy you're so much part of General Hospital.
I'm so happy to see you, my girl. Okay.
Betty White, what a talent, what a legend. What did you think of Betty White?
Well, what's not to think that she is maybe one of the greatest female actresses Hollywood ever had, in that she did everything and she was very bright. She broke a lot of barriers for women. She loved animals. And this is a vegan coat. And so Betty won't get mad. It's not real fur. And I mean, the greatest thing I think about Betty White was her sense of humor. And you never knew what was coming out of her mouth when. And she was a wonderful actress. She was in film. She had her own shows. She just did everything. And she seemed to be really kind to people. Anyone who's kind to animals is usually kind to people.
Do you think she gets the credit she deserves as a trailblazer?
You know, probably not. That's kind of my own, feeling that she doesn't, but maybe posthumously now she is getting it, and I think she would be really happy. I mean, just think of her legacy and how many years she, worked in Hollywood and what she did, and that she had her own show, I think, 3 times. And so, I mean, you have to love her. What's not to love?
Did you have a favorite show?
Everyone says Mary Tyler Moore, which was wonderful, but everybody was so wonderful. But Golden Girls, I mean, the fact that, and she really wasn't even that old when you think about it, but the fact that they had a show with women that seemed older in Hollywood that were over 40, I mean, that's legendary. And then she did Hot in Cleveland, but I would say maybe Golden Girls.
All right. Well, thank you so much. What are you working on real quick?
Oh, well, I have a film that's out. It's called Dracula, Bride of Horror. I only do Dracula films because it was so funny. I went to the post office today and I got a residual check for Dracula Dead and Loving It. So only Dracula films, but I have that, and I'm working on my own show, which is The Misadventures of Campy Lane. It's a podcast, so I'm working on that, which should be out later this year.
So you were kind of on TV at the same time as Betty White. Golden Girls kind of overlap with Growing Pains.
Oh yeah, we actually battled them in the ratings. When we were moved from Tuesday night to Wednesday nights, we went up directly against Golden Girls and Matlock. We got killed. I mean, it was such a great show, and they took so much of our ratings. So even then, I love Betty White. I mean, she was such an amazing icon, and she brought so much to this industry. So it's really kind of an honor to be able to be here to celebrate her life.
Did you ever get to meet her?
I got to meet her a couple times, but only briefly. I never really got to know her or talk with her in any depth.
Did you ever say, hey, listen, we should have beaten you in the race?
No, never got into that. It was always a fun kind of jesting thing between the shows as to, oh, we got you this week, or you got us, There was never any real rivalry over it.
What do you think is her legacy?
Honestly, I think the love that she had for everybody, and the humor she found in life, I mean, all the way through her long career, I think is definitely something that she left behind that we can all grab onto.
And what do you got coming up? Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at Mr. Jeremy James Miller on Facebook and The Real Jeremy Miller on Instagram. And right now we're in pre-production, getting a script written for the book that I wrote called When I Wished Upon a Star. We're talking to a couple of streaming networks as well as a couple of production companies to see if maybe we bring it to the big screen. And I have a couple of horror movies that I'm set to be filming this year that hopefully will be coming out in early 2024. So
awesome. Can't wait to see him.
Always.
So we're here for Betty White. Did you know Betty? Did you cross paths?
I did. Well, she worked on Bold and Beautiful, their shows across the hall from us. Young and the Restless, so I did, just say hi kind of thing. What an amazing, talented, incredible actress, and I loved how she gave back and how she was, she was so active with Actors and Others for Animals and all the things she did. I mean, I can't ever imagine anyone saying an unkind thing about Betty White. She was just truly amazing.
What do you think that up-and-coming actors and actresses can learn from Betty White's example?
Well, I think the most important thing is you just keep working and put one foot in front of the other, which is what I try to do. And while you're doing all that, I think it's really, really important to give back. I'm celebrity spokesperson for the ALS Association, and I do 3 teas in Canada a year for March of Dimes, where I bring up Young and the Restless people. I'm over at the LA Mission, and whatever I can do to give back. I feel so fortunate, because this is the business that I love. I've always wanted to do this, and here I've just celebrated 40 years and counting on my show, so I'm thrilled to be part of it.
Congratulations. I hope it just keeps on rolling.
Thank you.
Ruta Lee, an absolute legend. So good to see you here.
Well, I'm a legend in my own mind and maybe in my mother's, but thank you for the lovely compliment.
What do you think is the most inspiring thing about Betty White's career and the legacy that she left behind?
The love of life, the enthusiasm for her work, her friendship with thousands of people across the world, millions of people. Isn't it nice that a big, huge star is so beloved, not because of her beauty, but a great deal because of her own personal charm that invaded anything she ever did.
Would you watch her just in amazement, like, God, now she's hosting Saturday Night Live, now she's doing, it's like, it was incredible to see, and she resonated with the youth as well.
Dante, she was the only woman in this world that I was envious of. I was truly jealous of the fact that not only could she do it all, which I always felt I could do, but that she did it with such grace and such charm and such longevity. Hey, God was good to her, but then she was good to God's creatures on this earth as well.
I love it. Any final words you'd like to say about yourself or Betty or just the Hollywood Museum?
I was just very, very happy to count her as one of my friends, and more honored that she counted me as one of hers. And may she entertain God for eternity.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ruta. Nice to see you. What was the biggest lesson that you learned from Betty White in terms of pursuing a Hollywood career?
To keep your sense of humor, not to take things too seriously, to exude confidence, believe in yourself, and yes, not to take things too seriously. Have fun with doing what we do.
Why do you think she resonated so strongly with so many generations, especially the younger generation nowadays?
Because I think she didn't take herself too seriously, because she had a sense of humor, because she inspired that. Her commitment, her longevity inspired us.
Thank you very much.